Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble this Tim Gibson Limited calf pram. You can buy it in kit form, so I'm going to show you how to put it together. So you've got your two wheels, those are for clamping the rubber floor down. That's the bar for the head restraint. That's the bag of bits. That is the floor plate. That is the wheel frame. So the wheels go in the inside of here. Handlebar goes on. Handlebar goes on here. This is the entry door. So take that off there for now. This is the headlock door and exit frame. Just take the door off and put that out of the way. Look at that. That's the end. Exit frame. That's the handlebar. Going that for a while. And these are the two side plates. So this is the bag of bits. So that's all the bits you get in the kit. So some M6 bolts, all the M6 nuts. These are the wheel frame hinge brackets. So that's the bottom piece has the hex head bits in it. The top piece has the curved top corners to sit in the folded bit. Those are the bolts for those parts. These are the folded bits of galvanised sheet that hold the rubber floor on. That's what they're for. There to go in the door pins to stop the doors coming off. That's the bolt that holds the head locking yoke part on. The spring catches and the anti-loose bits for the doors to hold the doors shut. So that's all the bits. So how I do it is get one of the entry or exit frames. Put it down there for now. Doesn't matter which. Get that. Get floor plate. Sit that in there. And get one of the side panels. One of the long bolts. Start putting these bolts in, but don't tighten them up. And do the other side. Then get the other frame. So it doesn't matter which way around any of these galvanised pieces go. That's how that one goes, either side. So the side goes on the inside, the floor goes in the middle, and then through the tube, so the bolt goes all the way through all three. And then you put the short bolts down the sides. There's only two different sizes of M6 bolts, so you can't really get it wrong. So that's it put together, but it's still just loose. So these go either side of there. We've got the bolts in here on the side, holding the sides to the base, and the bolts at the bottom. Like I say, it's all still loose. And the next job is to put the wheel frame on. So if you lay the wheel frame like that, it will fold all the way over once it's put together. So we'll lay it like that. These are the wheel frame bits, so the bolts go through there like that, and the heads go into the plastic. So that goes that way up. Do this one. Like that. The tube goes like that. So that's it, they're just sat in there now. Push them through from the bottom and put the nut on the top. So that's them both now in, and because the head is into the plastic at the bottom, you only have to tighten the top, you don't have to hold the bottom. That's the head locking door on, and the anti-loose fastener in and just loose. That's the split pin in and bent to stop the door coming off. If there's any of this black stuff, any of that, so they're sandblasted and then powder coated, and it's just the sandblast gets in places and it's not always easiest to get it out. So you knock the handle on till the holes line up. It can be quite stiff, but they will go. Just have to give them a tap on here with a hammer to get them on and lined up. And then bolts to go through here, bolts to go on to hold these on. So these go on the underside here, and you've got movement So these holes are slotted so that you can get it in the right position. These will lock in position. You pull the pin out, turn it, and it locks itself. So these need to be positioned in such a way that it clears. When it's down, it clears. All the 6mm bolts are tight now, and the 8mm bolts are tight. So there's just the anti-loose fasteners. That one's tighten up. The rubber floor to put in, and the wheels to put on. So we'll get that done now. That rod, that's just tight enough so it allows the rod to move. It doesn't want to be too tight, otherwise it won't move at all. I haven't got a full piece of rubber flooring, but I've got this bit just to demonstrate it. So normally the rubber flooring goes from edge to edge, full width of the base, and it's held in place by two galvanised pieces that go across the end of here. So one goes there, and these are the dome-headed bolts that hold it in place. The holes are tapped, so they just thread straight in. So like I said, the floor should be full width, but it's held at each end because the way these are shaped, it nips it down. So now it's just the wheels to go on. The wheels have got axles. So those axles are designed to go into the box section. So the two holes, you've got a choice. That one gives you less height, but it's more balanced. That one's a little bit more height and ground clearance when it's being wheeled around, but obviously it's a little less balanced. So we'll get these put in. The 6mm bolts are a 10mm spanner. The anti-looses are a 13mm spanner. The 8mm bolts for the axle are a 13mm spanner. The bolt for the head restraint is a 17mm spanner. And the axles are a 19. And then the plates for holding the rubber floor in place are an Allen key. Those are all the tools I've used. That's a 19mm socket for the axle bolt. That was for the inside of the axle. That was for the split pins on the doors. 10mm, 13mm, 17mm, 10mm socket, 3/8 ratchet to drive for that socket and that socket, Allen key and a hammer.